Your Honour and ladies and gentlemen of the jury, thank you for being here today. My name is Sinead Hayes and I am here today representing my client John Simmons, the defendant of this case. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you are here today to hear the evidence of the trial of my client John Simmons, who stands accused of manslaughter. On the 28th of March 2013, my client John Simmons was charged guilty with manslaughter of former ex-swimmer Andrew Clark. I intend to prove to you today that John Simmons is innocent of manslaughter, Section 303 of the Criminal Code Act, against the death of a fellow ex-swimmer Andrew Clark on the 28th of March 2013. I will show you the evidence I have that Mr. Simmons did not commit this crime of manslaughter towards Andrew. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I will represent to you some key facts that stick out to me the most from this crime. While John was walking home from the swim trials, Andrew approached him on the bike. Andrew had then started to boast to John about his position he got on the swim team for the Queensland swim team, that John had missed out on, unfortunately. When Andrew rode off on his bike, John does admit to yelling out to him, saying, "You won't be swimming too well at the next carnival," and then starts to throw rocks at Andrew. One of those rocks does unfortunately hit Andrew. Andrew then does become furious at him, hops off his back and grabs the cricket bat out of his bag and begins swinging the bat at my client John. John does get struck by the bat and then begins to run along the footpath to avoid being hit again by the bat. Andrew chases after my client but loses his footing on the footpath and trips and falls down on an embankment in the pathway. My client saw that he had fallen and called an ambulance straight away after noticing what had happened to Andrew. He noticed that Andrew was unconscious. However, when the ambulance came, they pronounced Andrew dead at the scene. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I want you to imagine if you were John. I would like to know what you would do if this was you, if you missed out on a position in the swim team or something that you had been working for a very long time. Why would you throw those rocks? And of course, why wouldn't you run away from someone swinging a cricket bat at you? Now, I'll explain to you why my client, John Simmons, the defendant of this case, took the actions he did towards Andrew Clark when he did. John took these actions on Andrew as he was simply running away from getting hurt even more from the cricket bat. It is Andrew's own fault, accidental fault, that he slipped on the path when he did. After all, he was the one running towards John with the weapon, the cricket bat, in his hand. Now, in conclusion, I believe that my client John Simmons, the defendant of this R.V. Simmons case, should be charged with the most minimal of charges he can have, as my client did not commit manslaughter towards Andrew Clark. I agree to community service for hours as punishment, but I do not want to see my client imprisoned for a crime that he did not commit towards Andrew Clark. Thank you.